Hello and welcome to another video. So, we did cover this Invoked Shaddoll deck just a couple of days ago. I have made a couple of updates and I've got a cool game against A UItopia deck where I basically just had to break board to win, which is going to be a lot of fun. So we'll get into that right after we cover just the couple of changes we've made to the deck since then. So, we have changed in a couple of Lightning Swarm and a couple of more Ash Blossom, obviously, for obvious reasons for Ash Blossom. Great card, stops Maxi, stops a lot of things. Honestly, just generally good. Lightning Storm mostly was just board breaking. I decided I needed another copy. It was becoming a problem when I would end up having to go second, where I just needed a way to break board a little easier, and Lightning Storm enables that quite well, as I think you'll see. I'm pretty sure we use Lightning Storm, but I can't remember for sure with our little video. But it has helped me climb up to Plat 2, which is where we're at now, or Plat 3, sorry, where I'm at now. I was trying to remember which plat I was on. One of them. I've also made a couple of changes just in the last couple of hours before making this video, as far as adding a couple of wind attribute cards. Mainly because Tri-Brigades are reasonably popular, and there was a couple of games there in a row where I got locked out of basically playing anything due to a wind statue, where if I had a wind fusion I could have got out of those situations, so that would have made my life a little bit easier. We took out the earth stuff, pretty easy for that, so we swapped in, you know, Lightning Storm for the earth, we swapped in those for that, and we just cut down numbers of different things to make that work. I'm quite happy with where this deck's at. I would maybe like try and slot in a Boral Sword maybe, but that's asking for a lot here. I'd probably have to drop Raiden or something, put in Boral Sword to try and get that to work, but we're not heavily link focused, so making Boral Sword isn't exactly optimal either. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this, and we'll get right into it. Alright, just before the video starts, I am adding memberships to the channel. If anyone is interested, it's worth checking out. Well, I'm not offering too much at the moment, but we'll have like member shoutouts for certain tiers and member polls for basic tiers, and just some like icons and stuff for chat and that, which is cool. If you guys are interested, you know, check it out. Always helps. So honestly, this game didn't really start too crazily, other than me activating Max C on their initial play, because I realized they're going to be a special summon heavy deck. So I was like, hey, let's go with Max C again, similar to the other video we made the other day. But it was really just a fun game, breaking their board down. Or at least wanted to deal with it. And while it can be a pain in the ass because they were playing an Exceed deck, which was a heavy Exceed deck, Onomatopoeia in particular. They were really going for it here, you know, they were making their Exceed plays, they were like, hey, I think we can do it, I think we can do it. And I'm just like, nah man, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. They just continued to go off because I couldn't stop them, you know, they were just going to let me draw cards, accepting the Max C challenge, if you will. It was a little bit of fun. Honestly, you don't expect too many different deck covered at the start. As we get things rolling, I do want to cover more decks, but obviously with how the game is at the moment, unless I invest, you know, some ridiculous amount of money, I'm probably not going to have a crazy amount of decks to start off with. I've got a few in mind that I'm already working on, so we'll get to them eventually. It's just a matter of having enough SRs, mostly. A few more URs and I'll be good. But yeah, they really just went for it here, honestly. Just making as many Exceed plays as they could. Activating as much as they could. Just giving me all the cards in my hand. Very similar to what the 6-Sam player did. I think this was just a lot more fun. It's nice to see another one. And this time you can get my insight with me actually, you know, speaking. Which is cool. Plus a small update to the Shaddoll deck doesn't hurt, so giving you guys, you know, just a little bit extra content. So this guy mostly was just making as many of these Utopias as he could. And I was just like, you know, I'll just let you make your Utopias, go for it. I'll just wait here. I'm not going anywhere. I got time, you know. You can make all of them you want. Well, we pretty much just sat here and was like, hey, you know, look at this hand. It just goes on forever. Fortunately, not too big a problem. They finally decided to pass the turnover, which was fun. I just proceed to melt down into Alistair. I was like, you know, we try and bait out some negates here. We'll go terraforming. We'll just, you know, get another one. Get another meltdown in our hand. Then we'll Shaddoll fusion. Why not? Why not? We didn't end up getting a lightning storm actually, so I didn't have a choice but to go this route because I didn't have a way to deal with it. So I just decided to try and negate them first, while comboing our effects so they couldn't stop my negation as much as possible. I then proceeded to realize that apparently the equip card doesn't give a shit about the upclone negation. It really doesn't care. So you can't do anything about it. You just have to deal with it and put up with it, which is a bit disappointing. Fortunately though, I do have Super Poly. Now, Super Poly is great, especially when you use it, you know? It allowed me to out the card that I was having trouble with, which was mostly the Ray. So I could go into Construct, set that on the board instead. Fortunately, Beast getting us you know, a draw. It wasn't exactly what I was after, but, you know, it was something. It was something I could use. They did finally decide to activate Draco Future, which I believe is another negate. Which, fortunately, I didn't care that much about. Again, I'm just baiting negates with my Shaddoll cards as much as possible. I really wanted the Resh Send so that I could pop my Fire Attribute Shaddoll there. We're really just trying to break his board as much as possible, so we went for 2 Constructs. Since they can pretty much just ram and kill things. Unfortunately, as you'll see, I do make a mistake with my Construct play. I attack into this Utopia here that I thought I could destroy. Unfortunately, turns out, you can't destroy that. It actually has protection on it. So I then decided, hey, we'll kill the other one instead over here. Target the other Utopia with our other Construct. That was just me not reading cards, you know, normal Yu-Gi-Oh player behavior out here. Fortunately, it doesn't matter if I'm on 0 attack or not. The Shaddoll effect is irrelevant. It will just destroy it, so that was fine. I then proceeded to go main phase 2, realizing, hey, I actually still have a chance to break this board. I hadn't even normal summoned yet. So I decided to go Alice to normal here. Of course, going into the Macabre line of play. If I had realized this sooner, I should have just made, what's it called? Purgatrio and went started attacking crap. They probably would have then just decreased the attack on it, so it probably would have been pointless. But we just keep going, keep making more and more things. I then realized, hey, why don't I just make Anaconda? They gave me a Dark. I can just turn something else of theirs Dark that I can actually target here, and then activate Super Poly on it. Why not? Why not just activate it? You know? Why not deal with it? So we make the Starving Venom, which is fine. You know, we target it, we gain its attack. I use the Alice to send here. I then think, hey, you know it would be great if I got rid of their final card on board here. So we finally activate the Resh, which allows us to flip up our Shaddoll, which allows us to then banish their card. Since it only can't be destroyed, it can still be banished. So we finally banished the card, and we're just sitting on this board, and they scoop. Right there. That's it. That's the end of it. They scoop that board. They really did not want to deal with that at all, which is kind of funny, honestly. I need to click that. I wanted to confirm their deck so we can show off their deck a little as well. So they were just going for like straight up plays with the Utopia play. I assume doubles their big card, but since they went first, they decided to just set up their negation board, which is a little more dangerous to deal with. Fortunately, my deck breaking just went really well. We didn't have too much trouble just absolutely slamming down that board and dealing with it. So honestly, I had a lot of fun with this one. This was a lot of fun. And again, if you guys are interested at all in joining a membership, that would be great. I've made the tiers basically as cheap as possible for the lowest entry level tier, and then just the standard best price for the highest level tier currently. We may add higher tiers later if I decide there's things I want to do much later down the track, especially if you guys support the channel enough, then I'll probably be able to do a bit more. But for now, we're in a good spot. I thought, why not enable this for you guys? If you want to support me, you can. If you don't, that's fine. I'll probably still keep making out content. It'll just depend on how much I can make, basically. I want to reinvest whatever I get from memberships basically into the game, at least to begin with, until we can get something rolling here, so we have a decent card selection. I do plan on investing some money into this game to start with, probably. At least some of those early bundles they allow us to get for gems, so that I can try and build the last few decks, so I've got some variation on the channel. But if you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll be sure to bring you guys some more content. Till next time, see ya.